Welcome to Black Tower Tales Series 3, Session 3. I'm Body, I'll be your player dungeon master for today. Currently we're playing Shadowdark following they're level 0 guys in sort of the meat grinder initial sessions that you're sort of are emblematic of the old school Renaissance type game. Currently Chaos is 7, we're about 42 minutes into our torches. And I sort of have an idea in my head as to what the next scene is going to be. So we started out with 8 characters. 2 of them died, I think, in the first session. 3 of them died in the second session. And we're left with these 3. And what I first was sort of an ambush combat encounter. Second was where they were encountering some magical sort of bulbous, oozy traps that were in the mine shaft. And I think what I'm thinking is going to happen for this scene is going to be some sort of final fight where they actually can work together to overcome an enemy of some sort, probably in some sort of combat encounter to kill something, basically. So that's the expected scene that I'm looking to do. We'll use the Mythic generator in order to sort of determine the nature of that. I've got a list of enemies on one of these previous pages, but first we need to test the expected scene. Again, Chaos 7. We're at 42 minutes. We are under the Chaos score, and it's odd, so we've got an altered scene. So the main idea that I had was they encounter an orc from the Underdark that comes up and basically corners them, and they have to fight in order to get out. But with an altered scene, it's something like that, but it's twisted in some way, and shifted, you might even say. So nothing really comes to mind. I mean, the first thing that comes to mind is that they get cornered by an orc, but then they find out it's friendly. Actually, I think that might be an interesting way to go with it. How would we handle that? I think so. They're walking along. Torch is still burning. So yeah, let's roll on the fate chart. They're gonna be, or the random event action subject. So let's see what this orc that they're getting cornered by, what sort of how this comes about. So we've got this event focus for 12, which is going to be new NPC. That makes sense. And then actions and description. We'll just do action 1, descriptor 1. So 65 is going to be open. Open 79. Open peacefully. So actually, yeah, that what I think is going to happen. Actually, this is going to tell us a little bit about the world and how the assault on the dwarven city is taking place. So what I think actually happens is they doubled back in order to try to get away from the traps that the minefield essentially that they were walking through, but also going down a different path so as to not get ambushed by the same group that had ambushed them initially. And I think what happens is, as they are moving down a path, they actually, as they're walking down this mine shaft hallway. Let's say, yeah, roughly that sort of spacing. They're relatively big mine shafts. And I think what happens is, open peacefully, is we've got this orc. Actually, do we know it's an orc? We don't know it's an orc. Let's see on this table that I've got. I think about 8 people, 8 enemies. Let's see what is the nature of the person that opens peacefully to them. It's a goblin. Okay, so it's not an orc, it's a goblin. And we'll say, I was thinking it might be, okay, let's ask. let's ask the fate chart. Is it more than one goblin? Is it like a small squadron of goblins? I think that's 50-50. I don't know, but at Chaos 7, there's a 75% chance. We've got 88. So no, it's not a squadron of goblins. It's one goblin that they sort of left behind, that the Underdark people maybe left behind in order to guard something. And that is a double, but it's not underneath, or doesn't meet, or isn't meeting or under the chaos score, so it doesn't generate a random event. But they're walking down this hallway, and they find they're not being quiet. None of them are really trying to be stealthy, and they're not they are pretty dexterous, so they might be stealthy if they had tried to. But basically, they're clomping on their boots down the hallway and making all this sound. There is all of a sudden a secret doorway opens up in the floor right here. It's okay, maybe it's not that square, but it's like this secret doorway where what looked like just normal cave ground just all of a sudden opens up, and this goblin head pops out and just peeks around, and he's like, oh. Sort of just like looks surprised. They all stop and are like, what the hell? And let's say, I think the question I have is can they tell that it's a goblin from the Underdark by what the goblin's wearing? Maybe the shape of its ears, maybe its skin color, something like that, right? So I think that's 50-50. I don't know, but 75%. One, so yes, not only yes, but hell yes. So I think that means in this world, we had a goblin who died earlier. I think, in my mind, that he's sort of like the standard green goblin, but I think this goblin is unique in some way. And let's see. I think there's probably a table on the Mythic that is an interesting way to try to generate what the nature of this difference is. I've got alien species descriptors. Let's use that table. 77. It's going to be simple. What does that mean? So simple to me, in the context of goblins, means that I think normal goblins are super wrinkly. Maybe they have like really textured ears. Their skin is like all bumpy and boobly. But then these goblins, they're smooth goblins. They're smooth skinned goblins. That's okay. So they pop their head up, and I mean these guys all know. There's like legends of the Underdark. People have heard of the smooth-skinned goblins before, but this okay, that's my question. Is this the first time they're seeing an actual smooth-skinned goblin? If so, that could inform how they react, right? Do I think, well, okay, we've got a scribe for one of the guys that died previously. We've got a mine supervisor, basically. And then we've got someone who likes gambling, a miner who likes to gamble. I don't think any of them have any particular reason to have seen these before, so I think it's kind of unlikely. But I'll go 50-50. Maybe one of them has seen it, because I think maybe the miner has been on some sort of expedition before where they encountered one of these Underdark goblins. So 50-50, 75, 58. With that, yes. So I think that's what happened. Is Gendry actually has encountered one of these guys before, and so he's like, hey, he's like got his dukes up. He's like, what are you doing? Like, I think they've been ambushed before, so he expects an ambush. So actually, what I think is going to happen is he's going to run up and try to kick the goblin. The other two, well, Torben and Brolga are sort of just like shocked that the floor popped up. Gendry actually runs up and tries to kick the goblin in the head, and is not able to. And then let's see. Oh, we need the stat block for the goblin, I think. There we go. Yeah, so like, look at this goblin. He's all wrinkly. that's a normal goblin, not these goblins. So I think, yeah. So that Gendry runs up and tries to kick the goblin, but like the goblin has his keen senses, he can't be surprised. So he basically like dodges his head out of the way, and he has an AC 11, so he definitely didn't hit anyways. So what happens then? I think this goblin, we already know he's open peacefully, so this goblin isn't looking for a fight, and so I think he's gonna be trying to communicate to these guys like, hey, wait, no, you don't have to do this, because he also sees that he's actually, we don't even know that it's a guy, so let's roll that. It's 50-50, whatever. Is it a guy goblin? 45, yes. Okay. So he's like, hey, wait, no, cut it out. You don't have to do this. And so he's going to try to convince them to not attack him. I think, yeah, let's just say I think it makes sense in the context that he can speak common. But he's got -2 charisma. 15. Hey, that's not too bad. And then he's like, hey, stop it! You don't have to do this. I won't hurt you. Like, look, you can hide down here. No one else is coming this way. And so, with that, I think these guys are going to have a chance to do some sort of wisdom check to find out if they believe him. So he is being truthful. Who should do the wisdom check though? I think Gendry, he not only does he have the highest wisdom, he's the one who kicked them in the first place, and yeah, I think Gendry is the one to convince. So +2, he's got a 21, so that definitely beats the persuasion that the goblin tried to use. And so Gendry's like, wait, you can speak common? What's going on? Shouldn't you be attacking us? He's like, I think as a show of good faith, the goblin's gonna be like, no, here, you can, don't attack me here. I think he's actually just gonna hand out a dagger to each of them. Is he gonna do that? I think that's likely. I think that's very likely. Let's just say likely. It's only 85% chance. 55. So yes, that's a yes. He is going to be like, hey, no, wait, no, don't worry about it. It's fine. Don't, I'm not trying to hurt anybody. I'm just standing here. I think, what if the Underdark goblins are, I like that idea. We'll roll for it. But like, I think the idea that the goblins from the Underdark are actually pacifists, but they are from the Underdark, and so they like get conscripted and have to help, and they're not really great at combat anyways, so they get brought along because they sort of get conscripted into the war effort, but they're sort of useless in combat, and so they just they're maybe scouts and reconnaissance and things like that. I like that idea. In fact, I'm not even going to roll on that because I just like that idea so much, because it gives them a good reason to have stayed back, and it adds sort of flavor to the goblins of this world. And yeah, if he's not actually fighting himself, he can carry all these extra weapons to divvy out. He's like a quartermaster almost. And I guess as part of that, the goblins are just like, hey, wait, don't hurt me. Don't hurt me at all. But that was a 55. We do have a random event coming. So what is the event focus? So as this goblin is being like, hey, wait, no, here, I can see you guys don't have any weapons. Here you go. It seems so silly to me that he would be handing, oh man, these people weapons. But 33, it's an NPC action. Okay, so there's a random event associated. He's the only NPC that we have, right? I guess we do have the only other NPCs we have is that band of bandits. So I think we'll say 50-50 chance 50% chance this is Goblin, 50% chance it's the bandits that ambushed them last time. So we'll say 1, 2, 3 is the Goblin. Okay, so it's the bandits that ambushed them last time. These bandits take an action, which I think implies they're going to do something to these guys. So who knows? We'll find out what action they're taking right now. We'll do action 2 descriptor 1 table. So their action, it could be described as a environment. Helpfully. Okay. All right. So I think helpfully means that my initial thought was, hey, the bandits come up on them and ambush them again. But I think helpfully says to me that they need help, and they're returning to this hole in the ground, which maybe is like a beachfront, or it's where one of the locations where the people from the Underdark were attacking the city. So they are. I think that means that I think these bandits took some damage from the environment in the same way that these guys did. Maybe they accidentally went across a minefield and got really messed up. But I think they need help. They're returning here because they're messed up. And I think there's what? How many bandits were there last time? There were like 7 or 8 bandits. How many of them are left? I think we've got a D4. There's at least one. I think the leader is definitely alive, and we'll do a D2. Leader plus a D2 to see how many others there are. So there's 3 bandits left. We'll say the leader is going to be number 1, and they're not on top of them yet, but they're near, or they're close. Near, close is next to near is So maybe they even saw the torchlight in the distance, and we've got these 2 bandits sort of. I think this bandit number 6 is like carrying bandit 5. Because Bandit 5 is like, he's maybe not injured, or maybe not dead, but he's like injured and limping along. And then the leader bandit also has like an arrow in his arm or something. So I think they're all injured. I would say that the leader probably has 2 hit points. The guy who's carrying the other bandit has 3 hit points, and the other one bandit has 1 hit point. So with that, I don't actually remember how Shadowdark does initiative. I think it's just like normal initiative, right? But basically, these 3, they're gonna recognize those guys, and the bandits are gonna be a little surprised by the fact that, let's say they just turn the corner, right? There's a corner here, and they just turn the corner trying to get back to this entry point. Oh, and we've got another torch. So that's 1 torch down. I don't remember how many we actually had total. But that's 1 torch down. Let's just say we only have 1 torch left. Or, no, because we got a torch last time. So, yeah, we'll just say we only have 1 torch. So, I think it's just initiative. So we'll do group initiative. How about that? Just to make it simple. Bandits have plus a 0 dex. So the bandits are at initiative 6. And then the other guys they have dex -1, +2, +1. So we'll just give them a +1 average on their dex. That's a 2. So the miners are at initiative 2. So with that, actually, the leader bandit is just gonna charge right in. He's just like, ah, and he's gonna swing at Gendry. Oh man. So Gendry has dexterity of +1, and the bandit, Mr. Bandit Man, has an attack of +1. Oh, but he does not roll very well and just like whiffs with his club. Oh, he doesn't. He has a short bow too. That doesn't matter. This guy, actually, let's see, because I think, right, the Solo Adventurers Workbook, Toolbox, has a enemy tactics. Yeah, so we can use that. It's been a while since I needed to use this, but let's see. What are the tactics that the other two are going to do? We need our D100. 48. Creature uses this main attack. So I think this guy is going to put down the bandit that he was carrying. And actually, I would say let's just say that he actually gets his short bow out, but he can't shoot it because he was trying to put the other bandit down in a way so as to not aggravate his wounds. And with that, we've got Gendry and the other two have their opportunity to attack back. So Gendry, I think, has a +1 to hit with the dagger that the Goblin just handed him. And the AC 13, I think. Ooh, 14. That definitely hits. And I think daggers do D4. I don't actually remember, but yeah. Oh, and with that, yeah, the Gendry sort of pulls the shield out of the way and slams the dagger into the chest of the leader man. And I think actually, the two that are left, he just got his short bow out, but he also just saw the guy get stabbed. I think the other two, before we resolve what Brolga and Torben do, I think we're going to take a, what do you call it? The willpower, essentially. Morale check for the other guys. Let's see. They make it, though. So Brolga and Torben both... Actually, do either of them... I think Brolga is going to run ahead. And... Oh, I had the wrong... This is Gendry over here. And then Brolga's over here. Whatever. Torben, I think, is really dexterous. So I think he's going to step forward a little bit and throw his dagger. Because that's what he's more comfortable doing. And he's also... Maybe doesn't want to get into melee combat as much. He's gonna throw it at the taller guy, or not the taller, the one that was carrying the other guy that has his short bow out. I think he sees that. Oh no, I'm gonna get shot here pretty soon, so I need to make something happen right now. But he doesn't have, the bandit does not have a shield out, so he does not have that additional AC. So he's just going to have AC 11. Does not make it with the +2 to his dagger throw. But Brolga is able to run up, and we'll just say that, yeah, she's a savage. She's freaking heartless, right? She's going to stab the guy that's on the ground. Let's say, yeah, he has advantage on it because he's prone. And, okay, with a 16, 15, 14, that definitely hits. This guy has 1 hit point left. And she's a half-orc, so she does +1 to hit. Oh, she got, okay. +1 to hit. And also, Brolga got peppered by the traps in the previous session. So she understands that, that this is a dangerous situation. And, yeah, she, takes out the one guy. And I think... I'm not going to do the morale check. I think we're just going to go to the fate chart because I think it's likely that this guy is going to try to surrender or something. And we're going to ask, is this the final bandit? Is he going to surrender or is he going to run away? Is he going to surrender? We're going to say 50-50, Chaos 7, a 21. So yes, he's going to surrender. The question is, so he's going to take his, instead of trying to shoot someone with his short bow, he's just going to drop it and be like, wait, don't do it. The question is Gendry, I think Gendry is going to not give a fuck about that. He's just gonna run up. I think he's got maybe some sort of bloodlust or something. I don't know, And he's just gonna be like, nah. And he's gonna swing with an 8. Is not gonna hit. Brolga and the other two. Actually, Brolga, we're gonna roll. We're gonna see if she has the opportunity to. I think it's unlikely because they're in a desperate situation. I think it's unlikely that she shows mercy for him. But we're gonna see 65. The question was, is she going to show mercy? So it was a 65. This is I rolled a 90. So that's a no. So she's gonna stab the hell out of him as well. Misses. And then Torben has a shot here, but he's just punching. So he basically just does like, actually he's gonna, because he can run up and pick up a weapon from the other guy, so he's definitely gonna do some damage, and yeah. Basically, Torben runs up and is like takes a sword actually from the fallen guy that Brolga stabbed last time, and Torben gets a sword and chops down this final person. So they turn around then. We're out of combat then, and they turn around and look at the goblin. The question. Actually, I think the goblin is going to be like, oh shit, they're all attacking my allies. They're probably not going to be too favorable for me much longer. And he's actually going to duck his head back into the hole and close it, sealing it as much as he can. They're all distracted. Like that, since they didn't like... It took him a couple turns to finish off the last guy. So I think he's got a decent opportunity to get this done and do it effectively. So he's got a +1 to his dex. No, +0, I guess. Actually, I think we're going to roll on the fate chart instead. Is the goblin able to close the mine shaft? Or the trapdoor, I guess, effectively? I think that's likely. So we're going to say 85%. 24, yeah. So basically, these three turn around after finishing off the bandits who ambushed them previously, and are like, wait, where'd it go? I think they're going to run back over here, search around, and look to see, like, they remember the general location, but they also ran like 30 feet in the other direction. All these stones sort of look the same. They can't remember exactly where it was. So I think they have a chance to find it. And we're going to give that a -2 +2. We're just going to give them a +0 because that's the average of all of their wisdoms. They're going to get a chance. It's going to be a DC 15 because it's very difficult. To see if they can find the opening that the goblin just closed. 17, so yeah, they do. And with that, actually, what they're going to do is they open it back up and they find the goblin. Actually, do they find the goblin? I don't know. The goblin could have ran away. I think it's 50-50. Do they find the goblin there? Yes, they do. The goblin guy he's sort of just cowering. He's sort of honor bound to not leave his post, but he's not going to necessarily let them just like open up. He's honor bound to not leave his post. That's why he didn't run away. But he's not. The Underdark goblins are pacifist, so he's not going to attack. But he's just like, wait. So I think they can see that the goblin is like hands up, doesn't want to get attacked, and they could tell that he was trying to hide from them again. So actually, what they're going to do is they're going to take the little goblin captive. They're going to haul him out, and they're not going to reclose the trap door. And in fact, they're going to try to break the trap door open. I think yeah, definitely one of them has like some sort of pickaxe, and we're just gonna see how long it takes them to do that. Because so it's yeah, so they're able to do it relatively well. There's a hinge there that they're able to just like pop out, so that it doesn't work anymore. And with that, they captured the goblin. Let me make a note of that. They're gonna like use one of the belts from a bandit or something like that in order to haul the bandit back to the city because they don't necessarily know that there's like a whole open war battle thing going on yet. Um, but yeah, with that, we are gonna end this scene. Next time we're gonna be in session 4. Session 4, I think chaos goes down because that didn't really go that crazy. It was a little weird. Like I wasn't expecting to find pacifist goblins, but yeah, they didn't. They sort of handled it really well. No one even took damage, and they're all going to. I think my expected scene. I think for the next time is them arriving in town, um, and they're basically going to try to get into the friendly part of town, and then at that point, I think we'll level them up to level 1. And so yeah, with that, we've got 14 minutes on the torch. Chaos 6 for next time, and yeah, that's gonna be it. Have a good one.